What's up guys, Jordan here. Today I'm going to take a look at Romance of the Three Kingdoms 14 Diplomacy and Strategy Expansion Pack Bundle on the Switch. It's a bit of a mouthful, but let's jump in. Now I know this is supposed to be a review, but just a warning, this is going to get personal at the beginning. If you just want the review, there's a timestamp in the line, but I have to say that this series, Romance of the Three Kingdoms, is rather important to me. This series, specifically the 8th game in the series, has changed and shaped my life more than any other kind of media. I played Dynasty Warriors 3 and 4, and these were the gateway into the Three Kingdoms legend for me. Finding out that they were based on a novel, which was also loosely based on history, absolutely fascinated me about these characters, this rich selection of warriors, strategists, and politicians. They were real people, and the promise of being able to influence and manipulate the goings-on within the Romance of the Three Kingdoms, it was mouth-watering. 8 was the first and for a long time the only Three Kingdoms game that Europe got. As a kid, I probably spent about 1,000 hours, maybe even more, playing it. Me and my PS2 fell in love with it and everything about it, and I knew after playing it so long that I wanted to go to China to try and, kind of feel the history. That's an incredibly fartsy thing to say, but it is true. And so here I am. I've been in China for 8 years, I have a wife and child, I have a great job which also gives me the time to make videos for SwitchWatch. So yeah, all of this happened because of Romance of the Three Kingdoms 8. I would not be where I am today without that game and Dynasty Warriors. I have this little monster because of this series. So it means so much to me. I even occasionally buy the games even when there's no English. It's more like sentimental value. Although I am still incredibly bitter towards Koei, since back in the day they did advertise Three Kingdoms 9 in the back of a manual, but they never actually released it in Europe. We only got 8 up until like 13, I believe. I think my local game store got sick of me asking about it every single week for about 2 years. But yeah, now that the series is on the Switch, finally in English, I mean, it's just asking for trouble from me. But to be honest, I don't have those thousands of hours that I want to spend with it. But I have played 14, the base game, on PS4 before, so here's an overview and also what's supposed to be in this bundle. So what are the Three Kingdoms games? They are simulation games heavily based on warfare. China is in chaos, and now's the chance to make the most of it. The series has a somewhat bipolar attitude. It seems like the series likes to flip-flop in terms of its scope and focus. One entry, they will only allow you to play as the faction leader, your Liu Beis, your Cao Cao, or if you're hipster like myself, Gong Sun Zan. Then maybe in the next entry, they will also allow you to play as an officer in the army of the leaders, helping them to the throne, your Zhao Yuns, your Xiao Hodun, or if you're a hipster like myself, Liao Hua. And then they'll probably flip back to just being the leader. Romance of the Three Kingdoms 14 is the former. You can only play as the leader, which is the first disappointment for me. I love playing as a lowly officer and making my way up the ranks and then being the driving force for my kingdom's success. Maybe even betraying them and forming my own kingdom, which will no doubt fail and I'll lose my head for it. That's what I loved about Three Kingdoms 8. Now don't get me wrong, playing as the leader is fine enough, I just enjoy the option. Kind of feels like half the experience has gone away. But on the other hand, the focus on just being the leader allows the developers to focus on the leadership aspects rather than trying to cater to 2 different playstyles. Having the sole purpose to lead your territory to prosperity gives more depth here. China is split up into many different territories, and depending on the period that you start in, there's plenty up for grabs for your potential empire. You can choose to start your campaign during different eras within this era. Rulers come and go, and you can start at select points. Personally, I absolutely love the post-Yellow Turban era, the era of Dongzhuo, where every man is for themselves. There's loads of rulers, each with a small amount of land, and if you play a little bit aggressively, anyone can come out on top. In this game, you'll be trying to balance the territory you currently have, trying to develop it, increase the population, its productivity, which in return can of course boost your war machine. You'll be recruiting officers, dictating their tasks, trying diplomacy with other feudal lords, then you'll be switching to the warfare. Now, total war this is not, but it is enjoyable, even though I think it's probably a little exploitable if you've played it for a while. I love the use of cutting off supply lines and boosting your own. It's been many years since I've read the novel, but I think that tactic is often used in the battles there, so it's actually quite faithful. What's new to this expansion pack? Well, for the first time in the series' history, you can trade with other nations, an often overlooked aspect within the series and history in general. Trading with India or Rome can benefit you with special tactics and other things. There's also a new campaign-like feature which plops you in certain situations within the era, and given a limited amount of resources, you can also get ranked about how you do. Personally, that doesn't interest me too much, I just like the general gameplay. Now, there's also new geographical features which, I don't know, kind of feels like it's done before. I'm not entirely convinced about how big of an addition this is. There's also 4 new scenarios available from the beginning, allowing you to start from the anti-Guan Yu coalition or the Battle of Tribi, which, in all honesty, I'm surprised wasn't in the original base game. It's like the most famous battle of all the era. But yeah, as an expansion, it's fairly decent. It's not game-changing, but, solid additions. There's other smaller tweaks too, and also don't forget you can grab the free DLC that's available. Just want to point that out before I forget. I also want to say that in portable mode, you can, as far as I could work out, play entirely with the touchscreen, which is a fantastic little touch. Pun completely intended. Now, due to capturing footage, I needed to play docked for like 95% of my time, so I can't say it's like 100% playable without controllers, but I think it is, which I love that fact. Now, visuals. On the Switch, it looks pretty decent. These games aren't exactly taxing on any system, but there's a great style here that I always appreciate. It's obviously been scaled down for the Switch compared to like the PC, but that's fine by me. I'm just glad it's here. The artwork for each and every character is classic, and it really sucks you into the mood of the game. They clearly convey the personality of said character just from one portrait. I love just looking at each of them and trying to find the little details. It's great. In terms of performance, it's fine. I didn't notice any issues at all during my time with the game, which, considering some people say that this really struggles on PC, even if you have a big rig, I'm kind of surprised about. The audio is superb, I don't care what anyone says. I love the Chinese traditional music found within these games. Using the erhu, a very tranquil instrument in the right hands, often intertwined with epic bombastic scores. It really is wonderful. There is a bit of voice acting here too, either Chinese or Japanese. Of course, you're going to want to choose Chinese for the authentic experience, guys. In terms of pricing, Romance of the Three Kingdoms 14 on the UK eShop is £57.99 for the base bundle, while there's a digital deluxe edition for £79.99, which includes the first season pass. Now, the first season pass can be bought separately for 25 quid, along with a second season pass for another 25 smackaroos. So yeah, if you just want to buy the base game and then maybe later the season passes, you're looking at well over £100. There's also a ream of DLC available you can pick and choose from if you don't want to go for the season pass. Personally, I am disappointed the character editor is behind a $3 purchase, as I do enjoy changing history with my own preferred tweaks and stuff. There is an original character creation tool in here without DLC, so that's alright, but if I want to edit Guan Yu, let me edit Guan Yu, guys. I don't want to pay 3 quid for it. I already went in expecting the worst, since having played the base game before on PS4. I was hoping that they would be nice and include everything in one package for the Switch. Hiding difficulty options behind DLC or season passes is truly poor form in my opinion. And it sucks because I absolutely love these games, and so it's so tempting to actually pay for it. It's a crazily expensive package and instantly off-putting for most people, which is a shame because I'm worried that they'll see poor sales and blame it on the lack of interest, not the incredibly high price. And in the West, this is digital only too on the Switch. But there is a couple of physical editions in Asia. The one that's the most interesting one is the Southeast Asian version for like Singapore and such, which is the only one of the bunch that does have English, and actually at the time of writing it's probably a bit cheaper overall to import the physical version of the bundle than the Western digital release. That's insane. It doesn't include any of the season passes, and I'm not sure what the deal is with DLC and if it's possible to download or not. Maybe there's some compatibility issues, but if you want to own this physically and actually retain some value, then perhaps consider importing this for yourself. I definitely am. I've ordered it already. It's on the way to me. It's only $60. In the description below, I've put some import links below where you can find this for yourself. If you use those links, then it also massively helps support the SwitchWatch team at the same time. Of course, you guys are amazing and we love you and we thank you ever so much for your support. And you get yourself a proper, tangible product. product. And in return, you can also save even more money. When checking out, you can use the coupon code SwitchWatchTV. And with that, you can get 5% off any physical item from PlayAsia. That's SwitchWatch TV while checking out for 5% off anything physically from PlayAsia. Overall, overly ambitious pricing aside, this is a game you can put hundreds, if not thousands of hours into. There's almost endless replayabilities. You control different feudal lords in different times of the period. You may never play a game that flows the same. It may not have the depth or strategy of some simulation games like, this certainly isn't Total War, but as a fantasy, a story maker, there's little out there that can beat it in my opinion. I could happily retire from SwitchWatch and just play this and nothing else, but that's just me. I can't get the slight bias out of me. I love the era and it means so much to me even 15 years later. I wish it had Officer Play, and I wish the price wasn't so outrageous since, I would love more people to take a chance on it and get enveloped in the wonderful Three Kingdoms period. I got my review copy for free, of course, but it still says something that I have bought and ordered a physical copy for myself, which, I do recommend to you guys. For me, it's an 8 out of 10. Many thanks for watching this review. Big shout out to our executive producers, Elisa, Gannicus, God of Resin, Brent McLean, Jonathan Rumor, Alolan Jojo, Alexander Cato, Santa Tartaruga, Dane Wilkinson, Boombox, and our brand new executive, JCrod7776. Many thanks for your support, and our other YouTube members. Plus you, yes, you watching right now. If you watched all the way here, you're an absolute legend. The longer you watch, the more it helps us grow. YouTube likes it the longer you watch. If you did watch all the way here, I want to know who you are. It's Chinese New Year right now, so give me a nice little cow emoji so I can spot you and say Happy Chinese New Year. Here are our other videos. We have a weekly series for bargains, for physical releases, and a channel focused on Xbox and PS5 content. Check those out. See you next time.